In the beginning of the drama, we see a wedding scene. Our hero, Zheng, and our heroine, Chenjia, are attending their wedding ceremony. Actually, this is not a typical love wedding. It's a contract marriage. When the officiant announces, "Groom, you may now kiss the bride," Zheng leans in to kiss Chenjia, but suddenly he lets go, almost letting her fall. And with this, the story suddenly rewinds 3 days back. Here we find out that actually Chenjia is a novel writer. Writing novels is her true passion. But even after working in this field for 3 years, she still hasn't become a successful writer. She had an ongoing novel, but her dad used his power and got it paused. Why he did that? We will tell you a little later. Meanwhile, we are also introduced to Zheng. He is a young CEO who owns an investment company. He has invested in many small businesses, and whichever business he touches, it turns into gold. After that, Chenjia reaches her dad to argue with him. "Why did you pressure my literature company and stop my novel?" But her dad calmly says, "My sweet daughter, 3 years ago you made a promise to me, and now it's time to fulfill it." 3 years back, she had made an agreement with her dad. If she became a successful writer within 3 years, he would not force her to inherit their undergarment company. But there was one more condition. She would have to find a nice boyfriend and settle down. Actually, she had zero interest in taking over her dad's undergarments company. Even though the company was very successful, every time she looked at lingerie products, all her school memories came back because she was chubby, and boys used to tease her, calling her lingerie queen. Now what could she do? She had already made that promise. So she tells her dad, "Fine. Within 2 days, I will introduce you to my boyfriend. I have already fulfilled the second condition. I am going to get married soon." After that, Zheng also reaches the same literature company where Chenjia used to write her novels. And at that exact time, Chenjia is also there, fighting with the president about her novel being stopped. And right there, she comes face to face with Zheng. The moment she sees him, old memories hit her. They both studied in the same school, and Zheng always bullied her. Chubby Chenjia always shouted at him, "I hate you, Zheng." In the next scene, we move to a flashback. Chenjia used to get bullied a lot in school. One day, a boy stood in front of her and said he liked her and asked if she would date him. Before she could even say yes, he suddenly started making fun of her. "Who would date a fat girl like you?" She became very sad and upset. Meanwhile, Zheng would come to cheer her up. In the whole school, he was her only friend. He liked her even when she was a fatty, and now she had become so beautiful, but he never had the courage to tell her face to face. He would joke around, and because of that, Chenjia always thought he was bullying her. On the other hand, when President Du, Chenjia's boss, arrives, Zheng puts a condition in front of him. He says, "The murder novel running on your website? I am a big fan of it, but the next part hasn't been released. I will invest in your company only when the next chapter comes out." This way, he indirectly opened the way for Chenjia. Now the president would definitely agree to publish her novel. After that, Zheng starts chatting with her as a fan and asks about her problems. He finds out how her dad is forcing her to find a boyfriend or inherit the company, so he gives her advice. There is a blind date corner in the park. You should go there for a flash marriage. She actually likes this advice. Meanwhile, her friends Shashi and Ming also join her. Ming works in her novel company too. The three friends sit together trying to solve her problem, giving silly and random advice, but the best option still seems the same. She should go to the blind date corner, just like her fan suggested. On the other hand, Zheng's mom keeps showing him photos of different girls. She wants him to choose someone, get married, and give her the happiness of a grandchild. But Zheng says, "If you are thinking about Roshi, that is impossible." Roshi was his company's brand ambassador and was often seen with him. He says, "I only like simple and decent girls. If you really want to find someone for me, then go to the blind date corner in the park." And he sends both Chenjia to the park and his mom to the same place. His assistant is also involved in all of this, redirecting things secretly. He guides Zheng's mom straight toward Chenjia. The moment Zheng's mom sees Chenjia, she instantly likes her. She is simple, decent, and she also recognizes her. This is Zheng's childhood friend. Their families knew each other too. She gets super happy and immediately says, "I also have a son. I am looking for a girl for him." She takes Chenjia with her for dinner, and she also calls Zheng there. Now, when Zheng arrives and sees Chenjia sitting with his mom, Chenjia becomes extremely embarrassed. So after this, the scene continues and her aunt keeps saying, "You both already know each other since childhood. If you two get married, your understanding will be perfect." Meanwhile, Chenjia gets a call from her dad. He warns her again. "Only 10 minutes left. You asked for 2 days to introduce your boyfriend. Don't forget!" She cuts the call and thinks in fear, "I don't want to become the lingerie queen." Zheng hears everything because he was standing behind her. She gets angry and says, "So you came again? Just like in school? To tease me?" But Jung steps closer and calmly says, "I came to help you." After that, he takes her hand and takes her to his mother and tells his mother, "We both are ready to get married." In the next scene, the very next day, they both go and officially collect their marriage certificate. Now they are legally a married couple. Both families come to receive them and happily say, "We are finally relieved. Our children are settled now." Her dad even says, "Now don't call me uncle, call me dad." Chenjia and Zheng tell them, "For 1 year, we want to keep this marriage low profile. We want to focus on our careers. Tomorrow we'll hold a small family ceremony so that you both can be happy too." After that, their moms and dads book a hotel room for the newly married couple. Jung's mom even decorates the bed in a super romantic way, but his dad secretly pulls Jung aside and whispers, "You two haven't been seen together for years. Something is fishy." He says, "Recently I have watched a lot of dramas online. I know what's going on. This should not be a contract marriage." After teasing him, both parents leave the room. After that, Jung returns to the hotel room and pins Chenjia against the wall. He stands very close to her, but suddenly their parents walk in again because dad forgot his bag. They become very happy seeing them romancing. A few moments later, again Jung pulls her onto the sofa, and again the parents walk in because mom forgot her handbag. She smiles excitedly and says, "You two continue, don't mind us," and leaves again. Jen sighs deeply and says, "I knew they would spy on us. That's why they left 2 bags behind." He steps away and adds, "And I'm not interested in getting close to you." Meanwhile, we get a flashback of last night. In the hotel, both Chenjia and Jung made a contract. They will stay married for 1 year as a fake couple to satisfy his mom and her dad. The contract clearly said, no physical contact. For 1 year, they will act like a couple in front of the world. Then Jung adds one more rule. We won't date anyone else during this 1 year. They both sign it. Then Jung leaves her alone and goes to his room. In the next scene, the next morning, there is a simple wedding ceremony with only close family members. They appear as bride and groom in front of everyone. When it's time to kiss, Chenjia gets angry and thinks, "How dare he touch my face?" But Jung quickly drops her hand, catches her waist, and creates a pose that looks like a romantic kiss. But actually, nothing happens. Everyone thinks they kiss passionately. Jung looks like a complete hero. After that, Chenjia shifts into Jung's house. It was huge with only one butler, Uncle Shu. He tells her that the house is fully smart and advanced. Doors, lights, everything was controlled by remote and sensors. Chenjia chooses her own room and starts working on her novel again because President Du wanted the next part online soon. Meanwhile, at the office, Jung reviews the marriage contract and keeps remembering Chenjia. He locks the contract in his drawer. On the other hand, Chenjia is stuck writing her suspense novel. She can't think of an ending, so she calls her best friend Shashi. Shashi says, "Let's go enjoy outside. You'll get fresh and new ideas." Both girls go to a club. But this was actually Shashi's plan. She purposely brings Chenjia to the bar. When Jung finds out his new wife is drunk in a bar, he rushes there. By the time he arrives, Chenjia is fully drunk. He picks her up in his arms and brings her home. After that, when she wakes up, she panics. "My clothes, they're changed. She must have done it." But then she remembers. She was the one who changed her clothes. In her drunken state, she even entered Jung's room, told him, "Look how smart I've become now. You used to tease me for being fat." Then she slept right in his bed. The next morning, she enters the shower, but realizes it's Jung's shower. And Jung steps out freshly showered, looking super hot. She yells, "What are you doing in my shower?" He reminds her, "This is my room and my shower. What are you doing here?" In the next scene, Jung waits for her at the breakfast table. But Chenjia is panicking about her deadline. She has to submit the next part of her novel. When Uncle Shu comes back, he says, she is not coming. She refused to eat breakfast. Hearing this, Jung uses his remote and turns on the jammer. The internet shuts down completely, so now Chenjia has no choice but to come downstairs. Jung calmly tells her, "Eat first. After that, you can do your work. And listen, don't get drunk in bars like that again. There were many men around you. One of them was even flirting with you." But now Chenjia gets angry. She says, "Everywhere on the internet, there are only articles about you and Roshi. According to the contract rules, things should be written about both of us, not only about me." She tells him to turn on the internet again, but he refuses. When she tries to leave with her bag, Jung locks the entire house using the smart system. Now both of them start fighting. She tries to snatch the remote from him, but by mistake, she presses something wrong. Suddenly, every single thing in the house gets locked, even the windows. Uncle Butler also gets locked outside. From the window, Jung signals him to go bring the spare keys. Meanwhile, poor Chenjia fails to submit her novel on time. Angry and frustrated, she goes back to her room. In the next scene, she looks out of the window and sees that her friend Ming has come. He is trying to help her get out of the house, but the moment she tries to talk, Jung appears behind her, pulls her, and she falls on the bed. From outside, Ming shouts while hanging on the staircase railing, You are rich and powerful, but you cannot bully my friend. And then he slips and falls down. Assistant has to carry him. Now this is the point where Jung starts getting jealous of Ming because he feels that Ming is very close to Chenjia. After that, evening arrives. Jung comes and sits with Chenjia, helping her write the ending of her novel. He gives her ideas, discusses scenes, and the two of them work the entire night. Finally, her novel's ending gets completed, and seeing her happy, Jung also feels really happy. The next day, Jung leaves for office. Meanwhile, Chenjia becomes worried again. Her novel got submitted, but it isn't getting published. She thinks President Du is upset. She finds out that President Du has gone to a party, so she decides to go there and talk to him directly. In the next scene, Jung is also at the same party. Roshi is there too, sticking close to Jung like his partner. At the same time, Chenjia arrives to meet President Du. But President Du gets angry and says, "I want to end our contract. I don't think you have the capability to become a good writer." He scolds her badly and throws her out. Watching this, Jung gets furious. He goes to President Du and says, "I'm ready to invest in your company, but on one condition, the writer of the last suspense novel must release a new novel too." Hearing this, Du is forced to change his mind. Outside, Chenjia is standing sadly. Jung comes to her, gives her confidence and says, "Writing is your passion. When you keep doing it, people will eventually accept you. Don't get hurt by one person's comment. Successful people don't give up like this. Even I was judged a lot, but look at me today." After some time, her boss calls her and says, "Prepare for your next novel." She is shocked, not knowing everything happened because of Jung. Meanwhile, inside, Jung tells Du, the next novel should be a romantic one, and one of the genres must be a bossy president and his sweet wife. After giving all the instructions, Jung leaves the office, but outside he sees Chenjia walking in, so he quickly hides. Next day, Chenjia's boss says, "You will start a new romantic novel now, and I want it handwritten by you." This is the exact category Jung chose for her. Chenjia gets stressed. She has never written a romantic novel before. She even asks Ming for advice, but he gives weird suggestions that might turn her romantic novel into something vulgar, so she rejects his ideas. Meanwhile, Jung keeps an eye on her. Then he tells her, "Mom invited both of us for dinner today. Finish your work on time. We have to go." Meanwhile, Roshi comes to meet him too, but Jung doesn't give her attention and leaves quickly. She complains to his assistant, "I booked a table 1 week ago. If he won't go with me, then you come with me." When Jung reaches home, he finds Chenjia secretly watching a romantic drama, probably recommended by Ming. But the moment he enters, she quickly sits straight and shuts her laptop. He tries catching her red-handed a few times, but she is always ready. Then, Jung pretends loudly, "I'm leaving the house." Hearing that, Chenjia sneaks into his room to get inspiration. How would a bossy president's room look? What things would he have? She even starts trying on his clothes and acting in front of the mirror. But Jung appears behind her and catches her. He says, "I knew something was wrong. Now change quickly, we need to go to Mom's house." When they reach, Jung's mom becomes extremely happy seeing them together. She even makes them hold hands, and they awkwardly pull back like they caught a virus. This house is where Jung grew up. Chenjia wants to see his childhood stuff, but he doesn't let her. Maybe he has secrets. She tries to jump to grab something. He catches her like a ball. To escape him, she bites his arm and runs away. After that, dinner is ready. Mom has cooked everything herself and remembers exactly what little Chenjia used to love eating. Watching her eat, Jung remembers the fun, foodie childhood version of Chenjia. After that, Mom asks, "Have you two thought about family planning? I want a grandchild soon." Jung sweetly sits close to his wife and says, "Mom, we're thinking about it." Mom has also prepared a bedroom for them, obviously to sleep together. This makes Chenjia furious. Later in the room, Jung comes out after showering. Now it's Chenjia's turn. She thinks, fine, living with a bossy president as a contract wife, at least I'll get inspiration. He gives her a nightdress Mom prepared. She notices the tag, "This is from my dad's company." Her mischievous side wakes up. She remembers her friend's advice. Go seduce him for inspiration. She hides a mini microphone inside her nightdress and walks out dramatically, flipping her hair. She starts dancing around him to attract him. But suddenly she slips, screams, and falls onto the sofa. Mom is outside listening, thinking, "Aw, they are so in love." Jung doesn't resist. He even leans in to kiss her, but she blocks the kiss and quickly notes down ideas for her novel. Jung gets mad. "You used me, and I was stupid enough to get close to you." Later, she falls asleep while writing. He picks her up and gently puts her on the bed. Next morning, she wakes up beside Jung. He is fixing her night dress, but his hand is accidentally in the wrong place. She kicks him immediately. He gets badly hurt. Mom sees him limping with back pain and Chen-jia blushing. After that, Mom thinks, all normal. New couples are like this. At the office, Chen-jia learns that a competing writer named Sean is jealous of her because she wanted to write the same romantic genre. Meanwhile, Ming advises Chen-jia again, let's go on a fake date with Xiao. You'll get inspiration. Chen-jia has never been on a date before. To experience how real dates feel, she agrees. Meanwhile, Jung finds out and rushes to the mall. He has invested everywhere in that mall. When Xiao calls, Jung says, Chen-jia is with her husband. You can leave. Then he takes Chen-jia around the mall, takes photos together, and says he'll help her on one condition. She must wear a maid outfit. He is teasing her, but she agrees. Some people take their photos. Inside, they take more pictures. And later, Jung sees the photos again. He secretly loves them. They enjoy a lunch date. He never eat that kind of food before, but with Chen-jia, he enjoys everything. After that, they enter an escape room game. While solving the mystery, Chen-jia falls on top of him. She closes her eyes, thinking he'll kiss her, but he clicks a photo instead. His revenge. Suddenly, the lights go out as part of the game. Jung gets scared. He has a phobia of darkness. His stomach also hurts. Chen-jia remembers how in school, no one supported her except Jung. So now, she supports him, holds him, and helps him out. She brings him home in a taxi. His condition is very bad. Roshi also arrives at his house and gets shocked seeing another girl there. Chen-jia doesn't want their relationship ruined or the contract exposed, so she lies, I'm his cousin from another city. I'll stay here for a few days. Jeng tries to tell the truth, but she stops him every time. Roshi leaves silently, but becomes suspicious. Jung tells Chen-jia, you did wrong. You didn't have to hide. I don't look like your cousin. He refuses to take his medicine. Since his stomach hurts badly, Chen-jia cooks porridge for him. She tastes it first and burns her mouth. Then he tells her to stick her tongue out so he can put medicine on it. But while doing that, they both fall on the bed and end up with an accidental kiss. After that, he says that the pain in my stomach has started again and I can't even get up. Meanwhile, Uncle Shu enters, but Jung sends him away with gestures. He wants more alone time with her. He lies there enjoying the moment, refusing to get up. Next morning, Chen-jia feels embarrassed remembering last night's scene, but at least she gets great ideas for her romantic novel. Soon, social media explodes with news. Jung is cheating on Roshi. He is dating an actress publicly, but was seen yesterday with a mystery girl in a maid costume at the mall. People insult the girl online, but Jung doesn't care. He drives Chen-jia to her office. On the way, he sees someone following them. He dodges the car and lets Chen-jia off in a safe area. She gets angry. She can't find a taxi. At that moment, Xiao passes by and gives her a lift. But when he sees her with Jung, he gets jealous too, although he had arranged another car for her. In the next scene, even at the office, people gossip about Chen-jia. They call her a mean girl who stole Roshi's man. Jang is upset with these rumors. Meanwhile, Roshi meets him, but he says, you know well we were never in a real relationship. We only behaved like partners for the media. It was only business. Roshi gets hurt. She suspects the mystery girl is the same girl he called his cousin. Meanwhile, Sean overhears Chen-jia talking to Jung on the phone and gets suspicious. She checks the mall photos and notices the same sneakers Chen-jia wears. And then she secretly takes Chen-jia's back view photo and uploads it on social media, and proves that this girl is none other than the famous novel writer Chen-jia. Now people start coming to Chen-jia's novel page and begin abusing her online. Most of them were Roshi's fans, and they were even sending her weird, insulting gifts. Now she takes an off day and leaves for home. But the poor girl didn't know that even the taxi driver was gossiping about her. He was calling her bad names. And when she looks ahead, she sees a whole rush of fangirls gathered on the road leading to Jung's house. They grab her and even attack her, but Jung arrives on time and saves her. He puts her in his car and takes her away. As soon as they reach home, Chen-jia tells him, let's clear this. We only look like cousins. But he immediately says, have you gone crazy? Our parents know about our marriage. I will never go to the media and tell such a... Chen-jia becomes silent because what else could she do? But the fans were not stopping at all. Bad comments were still coming on her novel. Meanwhile, Roshi calls her to meet privately. She advises her, you should stay away from all this for a while. And do one thing. Leave Jung's house too. And if he doesn't let you go, then sneak out quietly. This is how scandals calm down. I have a lot of experience. Now Chen-jia quietly tries to leave the house, but just then, a van stops and drags her inside. When she enters, she realizes Jung arranged all of this. Jung himself selects a dress for her and even gets her makeup done under his supervision. She looks very beautiful. He tells her, "We'll give a public appearance now." He holds her hand and brings her in front of the media. There he announces, "This girl is my wife, so no one will insult her, and I have no relationship with Roshi." Seeing this, Roshi gets extremely angry, but the outcome of this whole thing was that people who were angry at Chenjia suddenly stopped. Even Chenjia felt that Jung did everything just to protect her. On the other hand, Sean was also very angry. She never imagined she would end up being the wife of such a big president. And the moment Chenjia reaches the office, everyone starts giving her VIP treatment. They follow her around because she is now the wife of the company's biggest investor. Even the boss announces, everyone will take special care of Chenjia and keep distance from her, especially Xiao, who keeps roaming around her all the time. Meanwhile, the butler uncle brings snacks for everyone, along with a bouquet, saying it was sent by her husband. Some colleagues get happy, but Sean becomes very jealous. She tells her, "You must give us a dinner party." Poor Chenjia has no choice, so she takes them all out. Everyone orders expensive dishes because she is the wife of a rich man, but Chenjia doesn't even have enough money to pay. When the bill comes, it is too high. She quietly asks Xiao, "Do you have some money? Please lend me." Sean laughs at her and makes fun of her. But at the last moment, Mr. Husband arrives. He takes out his black card and says, "Honey, I forgot to give this to you. I'm sorry, and this dinner is on me." Yes, pay everyone's bill except the girl in black dress. That girl was Sean. After that, Jung happily takes Chenjia back home. He asks her, "Don't you feel like a celebrity?" She says, "Yes, it feels exactly like that. My fan following has increased and my novel is getting really good comments." But somewhere in her heart, she becomes doubtful. She asks him, "How did you convince President Du for the script printing?" But he avoids the topic. Still, Chenjia understands that he is a very kind-hearted man. Next, both of them go grocery shopping together and have a lot of fun. Jeng comes very close to her once and uses the excuse, "People are watching us." And truly, someone was clicking their pictures. He says, "This is good for publicity." After that, a girl comes to ask for Jung's number and even calls Chenjia and sister. Chenjia Ann says, "If I'm sister, then call him brother-in-law." And she sends her away. Jung realizes that his wife has started becoming a little jealous too. Now Chenjia An is experiencing real love life, which helps her romantic novel become even more successful. But in the middle of everything, a problem arises. One day, Roshi comes and opens one of Jung's drawers. She finds the contract papers and realizes the truth. After that, she says, "I know everything now. You two are not actually married. Why are you lying?" At the same time, Chenjia An arrives to return his black card. She hears half the conversation and storms out in anger. Jung tells Roshi, "Yes, we have a contract marriage." "Only for 1 year." Roshi says, "That means after 1 year, you and I will be together again." But before Jung can say anything, she leaves from there angrily. She keeps thinking, "How stupid am I? He used to make fun of me in school because I was chubby. And even today, he will only play with my feelings. He can never love me." Meanwhile, poor Jung had no idea what was going on. He was actually going on an official trip to another city. He even told his assistant to add one more ticket. And the assistant already had the idea. He had purposely kept Chenjia's ticket ready. When he reaches home, Chenjia doesn't respond to him at all. She doesn't even open the door. He tries to talk to her, asks her what the problem is, but he can't understand why she is so rude. Butler uncle says, "It's okay. Girls have some days in a month when their mood becomes bad without any reason. Maybe she is going through that." And because of this, Jung starts thinking how to comfort his wife. So he makes ginger tea for her. But Chenjia didn't have such a problem at all. She doesn't drink his tea and quietly goes into her room. Now both of them are thinking all sorts of wrong things in their minds. Zheng, who had planned to take Chenjia along with him, becomes disappointed and leaves alone for the business trip. After that, at that same business trip location, Rishi also arrives intentionally. She wanted to get close to Jung. She meets him and even clicks photos with him. And here we see when Jung clearly tells her, "I already rejected you yesterday. Even if our contract marriage ends, I will never leave her. I married her not for 1 year, but for a lifetime." Meanwhile, poor Chenjia, unaware of everything, is sitting sadly. Then Shashi and the others notice that social media is full of Jung and Rishi's photos. Chenjia feels even worse, thinking, "I was getting serious for no reason. Our relationship is fake. There is no reality in it." Seeing her upset, Shashi and Ming arrange a picnic for her. They take her to the beach so she can forget her sadness. But nothing works. She keeps remembering Jung again and again. Next day, they go camping, and here something happens. A snake bites Ming. They immediately take him to the hospital. As soon as Jung hears that his wife is in the hospital in an emergency, he rushes out of his meeting and comes to the same city. But Ming was completely fine. The snake wasn't poisonous. When Jung reaches there, he sees Chenjia feeding Ming with her own hands. He becomes extremely jealous. He pulls her aside and says, "I came all the way here for you." She says, He's my friend. I will take care of him. He warns her, be back by 9 p.m. and goes home to wait for her. But she goes to karaoke with Shashi. After enjoying for a long time, she returns home after 11 p.m. And during this time, Jung keeps thinking, she must be with Ming all this time. I am such an idiot. Why did I leave her there? When Chenjia finally comes home, Jung starts fighting with her. You shouldn't spend so much time with Ming. Don't forget whose wife you are. She replies, and don't forget whose husband you are. You went on a date with Rishi on the business trip. I read everything. Now Jung finally understands why she was so angry. Next morning, he goes to her room to convince her, but he finds she has escaped through the window with her luggage. She even left the black card behind. He calls Shashi. She picks up the call and scolds him too. We are at a club. If you have the guts, come here. She gives him the address. When Jung reaches the club, Shashi and the others had already teamed up with the manager. The manager announces, Mr. Jung is here. Anyone who gets close to him will get a free drink. Now, everyone starts chasing him while he runs desperately to save himself. After somehow escaping, Jung gets a call from his mother. She scolds him, bring my daughter-in-law back home. Why are you making her upset with your stupid actions? On the other hand, Chenjia's dad also arrives and scolds her, how can you let your husband slip into another girl's hands? What nonsense is this? Come back and join the company. Stop this drama. And just then, Jung also arrives there. He holds his wife's hand and takes her away. Meanwhile, the assistant is also doing his part. He purposely turns the car sharply again and again, so Chenjia and Jung fall close to each other. After that, Jung shows Chenjia a news article and tells her, actually, I already held a press conference. Rushi clearly said that everything was just a misunderstanding and she has no relationship with me. Then he honestly explains everything to her. He also tells her, you are coming with me to that business trip place again. To the other city. I left my work halfway yesterday because of you. And he takes her along. They go to a golf club where he is discussing business matters. All the girls there look at Chenjia and think how lucky she is. Jung even teaches her how to play golf with his own hands. After that, he takes her to another place. There was a giant Ferris wheel. Chenjia once wanted to sit on it before too. But Jung had teased her saying, you're so heavy the wheel will collapse. Actually, he was joking, but Chenjia got hurt and had run away back then. So now he says, today, we will both sit here together. They get on the Ferris wheel and spend a really sweet time together. At one moment, Jung is about to kiss her, but Chenjia's stomach suddenly starts hurting. So he immediately takes her back to the hotel. There, he understands she is having some girls' problems. He orders many things from the waitress. Different types of sanitary pads. Chenjia chooses a brand shyly and goes inside thinking, maybe Jung is not as bad as I thought. He stays with her, takes care of her, and even makes ginger tea for her. While sitting beside her, he falls asleep. Well, finally, their business trip ends and they come back to their city. But in between all this, Jung noticed something. Every month, Chenjia goes through a lot of pain. In the next scene, he even discusses this with his mother. His mom says, I'm happy you're a caring husband, and gives him the address of a herbal doctor. She tells him to take Chenjia there for treatment because the doctor is really good. Now both of them sit in front of the herbal doctor. After checking Chenjia a little, the doctor immediately sees how much weight she has lost. She says Chenjia stays awake at night, overworks herself, and has some internal issues too. She says, if she takes my medicines, she will become perfectly fine, but warns that the medicine tastes extremely bitter. Now, on one hand, Jung is taking care of Chenjia, but Chenjia also starts worrying about Jung. She tells the doctor, actually, he also has a problem. He often has stomach aches, and he can't eat spicy food at all. So the doctor checks him too and gives him medicines as well. And before they leave, the doctor smilingly asks, you two are a couple, right? Is there any fertility issue? Hearing that, both of them blush immediately. Later that evening, they sit with their medicines. The medicine is so bitter that Chenjia refuses to drink first. She says Jung should drink it first. Jung drinks his in one go, but Chenjia hesitates a lot. Then Jung gives her an idea. Don't feel the taste at all. Just drink it quickly and eat a candy right after it. And when she does that, the candy that was in Jung's hand, he transfers it to her through a kiss. A sweet romantic moment is created right there. But Butler Uncle also sees this scene. Uncle Shu secretly takes their picture and sends it to Jung's mother. On the other side, we see Shashi going to a place where she drinks a lot. Coincidentally, Ming was also there. Both of them lose control because they are drunk. In the end, they go to Shashi's apartment. Next morning, when they wake up, the situation is a mess. They look at each other, scream loudly, and get angry. They start blaming each other, but also say that they will treat this like a bad dream and forget everything, and never show their face to each other again. Meanwhile, someone arrives at the apartment. It is Chenjia. She has the keys and walks right in. Shashi keeps trying to hide Ming. Some of Chenjia's stuff was lying around and Chenjia begins packing it. She even goes inside the room. In the end, when she moves the curtain to get her laptop, she finds Ming hiding behind it, covering himself with the laptop. And because of that, Shashi and Ming get fully caught red-handed. Shashi sits them down and asks everything. They keep blaming each other. She tells them gently, sometimes mistakes happen. Maybe this was a sweet little mistake. You two can talk it out. But she doesn't take the laptop with her. Instead, she goes downstairs where Jung is waiting for her and says, let's go. I want to buy a new laptop right now. After that, Chenja gets a call from her dad. He tells her that next week is the anniversary of their Sue Beauty company, and she must attend. He also wants her to come home tomorrow to plan the event with him. But Chenja flatly refuses, saying she won't come to the event or help plan it. The real reason was that the company always reminded her of bad school memories. She was always called the lingerie queen, a tag she never wanted. Later, when she returns home, Jung tells her, your dad called me too. He wants both of us to come tomorrow. He is your dad, so who should he discuss business with if not you? After that, we enter a flashback. In high school, everyone bullied Chenja. She was overweight, and her dad's business made her feel even more embarrassed. She hated being called lingerie queen. One day, Jung told her, everyone wears lingerie. Why feel ashamed? Don't be embarrassed because of your dad's profession. Give a strong answer to those who bully you. His words gave her courage. She even taught some bullies a good lesson and said, all of you who insult me are wearing my dad's underwear brand under your clothes. Back to the present, both Jung and Chenjia go to her dad's house. Her dad is extremely happy seeing them and even gives them gifts. But Chenjia gets embarrassed because these gifts were new designs made by her dad's company. Her stepmom, however, notices one thing. Chenjia is not wearing a wedding ring. She finds that strange because married women always wear a ring. After that, Chenjia recalls how, after her mom's death, this house used to be full of flowers and plants. But now, after her stepmom came, it feels like her real mom's memories have slowly disappeared. Meanwhile, Jung notices what was going on in that stepmother's mind and decides that he will definitely give Chenjia a ring very soon. Now they all start planning the event together. Jung suggests, why don't we perform an opening dance at the event? Me and Chenjia together. She refuses many times, but Jung says, just trust me. I'll teach you dance really well. After that, in the evening, he decorates the whole garden with lights, plays music, and creates a beautiful romantic environment to teach her dance. But here, Chenjia is struggling a lot with balancing. So he tells her, take off your shoes, and then he makes her stand on his own feet. Now, he slowly teaches her the dance and tells her, keep practicing. On that day, you will do really well. Meanwhile, we see that Rushi also gets the invitation to Sue Beauty's event. And when she learns the full schedule, that the event will start with a couple dance performance of Jung and Chenjia, she becomes extremely angry. On the other hand, when Chenjia is practicing her dance, Jung comes there again and helps her practice a little more. After touching her heart with his gentle teaching, he leaves, telling her to keep practicing. But after a while, Rushi also arrives there. She starts taunting Chenjia and says, no matter how much you practice dancing with Jung, you don't suit him. He and I are a heavenly made couple. Chenjia answers calmly, but the title of Mrs. Liu is with me. Rushi smirks. Only for 1 year. After that, Jung will be mine. Basically, she openly challenges her and threatens to steal her husband. After that, Chenjia tells everything to Shashi. Shashi gets furious and says, she is exactly like the evil female lead from your novels. Rushi is the real villain in your life. Jung is extremely caring. He even selects a few dresses for Chenjia. He tells her, choose one, and I will ask the designer to prepare it. And that designer is a very big, internationally famous designer named Sophia. Through assistant Chauhan, even Rushi gets this news that Chenjia will wear a Sophia-designed dress at the event. Next day, Chenjia goes to try the dress with Shashi. She looks really beautiful in it. And just when they are about to leave, Rushi also arrives there. She says, wow, what a coincidence. We both are wearing clothes from the same designer. Right then, Shashi also joins and says to Rushi, in dramas, you come as a lead actress, but in real life, you are a villain. Hearing this, Rushi gets even more furious. After that, the event day arrives. Rushi reaches first wearing a red dress, and that dress looks very similar to Chenjia's dress. Actually, she planned it so the colors would clash and people would praise her more. But then Jung enters the event with Chenjia. People start asking him questions, but Jung only praises his wife and ignores Rushi completely. Without giving her any attention, he walks inside with Chenjia. A little later, the event begins. Jang and Chenjia perform the opening couple dance together. Chenjia is nervous at first, but Jung gives her confidence. Because of that, everyone loves their performance, and they look perfect as a couple. Seeing this, Rushi burns with jealousy. After that, Rushi secretly goes to Jung and says, will you dance with me? He refuses immediately, so she threatens him. Fine, then I will reveal your contract marriage to everyone. But Jung does not care at all about her blackmail. He picks up the mic, calls Chenjia near him in front of everyone, praises her, and tells everyone how important she is in his life. Then he gives her a diamond ring and puts it on her finger publicly. This moment is so romantic that it feels like Rushi's soul burns completely from jealousy. After the event, Jung becomes a little drunk. When they go home, he keeps holding Chenjia tightly and says, "I don't want to stay away from my wife." As soon as they reach home, he kisses her. Chenjia also feels that she has fallen for him now, so she doesn't stop him. After that, Jung goes to take a bath. Chenjia controls herself and thinks, "I won't let him win that easily." Meanwhile, Ming and Shashi both get drunk again and repeat the same mistake from before. After coming fresh, Chenjia takes care of Jung, dries his hair, and says, "Let me get you ready nicely." She even does his makeup and puts a wig on him. After that, he falls asleep. Next morning, when Jung wakes up and sees his look, he screams loudly, "Why was I drunk? And why did I let Chenjia do this to me?" After that, Jung goes to office. Rushi is already sitting in his chair. She says, "How can you forget all our years together? We always came together in public. People thought we were a couple. You can't forget all that, especially for Chenjia, who can never be equal to me. What does she have that I don't?" Jung hates her nonsense. He says, "For me, my wife is above everything. I already told you." Then he calls his assistant and tells Chauhan, "Cancel every contract with this girl. She will not be our brand ambassador anymore." Actually, Chauhan secretly likes Rushi. He tries to explain to her, but Rushi says, "I don't care about money. For me, Jung is the most important. I like him." Meanwhile, Chenjia's life is going very well, but she starts feeling one thing, that the love and care Jung shows her in public, Chenjia was feeling trapped between her writing and her identity. People were only calling her Mrs. Liu, and it seemed like she had no personal identity left. She shared her frustration with Jung, saying that everyone only sees her as a queen who was born with a silver spoon and attributes all her success to her husband. Jung reassured her, saying she doesn't need to worry and that he will personally help her with her novels. She tells him that, "I want to do something without your help." One day, Chenjia went to the library and met President Jiang, who was the second main lead of our drama. They both reached for the same book, showing that their literary tastes were very similar. Chenjia told him that she is an online writer. Jiang advised her that just studying books is not enough. Life experiences are important. He shared that successful writers grow from life experiences. We also learned that Yang had recently returned from abroad, and he is looking for a girl whose face he only knows from a sketch, clearly deeply in love with her. Meanwhile, Rushi's contract with Jung's company had ended. She got an offer from Jiang's company and went for a meeting. She told him she wanted to join only because she knew Jiang could compete with Jung, implying she wants to challenge Jung indirectly. At the same time, Chenjia learns that her company will start a movie and they need a screenwriter. No one else is willing to go to the shooting location and work with the crew. Chenjia decides to take on the role herself because she wants to achieve something on her own. She will have to stay 2 months away from the city for shooting. Jeng refuses at first, not wanting her to go. He struggles internally about whether to let her go or not. Meanwhile, Shashi is struggling as an actress and goes for an audition where the director harasses her. Right then, someone arrives. It's Ming. He sees the situation and starts hitting the guy hard, shouting, "How dare you touch my woman!" And Xiaoxi actually feels very happy seeing him fight for her. While leaving, she even kisses him on his cheek before running off. Meanwhile, one day Jung is extremely worried. Chenjia isn't opening her room door. He fears she might be trying to run away again. So he rushes in and starts checking the wardrobe inside the bathroom to see if her clothes are still there. But she was actually sitting on the toilet at that moment. After that, both of them feel extremely embarrassed. For a long time, they couldn't even look each other in the eyes. But later, Jung remembers her old wish list he once saw. So he takes her on a date based on that list. He tells her, "Spend 1 full day with me. After that, I will fulfill every wish of yours. But yes, when you return after 2 months, I want a compensation. You must give it to me. I'll tell you what it is later." Hearing this, Chenjia becomes very happy, and she gets double happiness when she learns that in this movie, there is a small character role for Xiaoxi too, meaning her bestie will be with her. Next morning, she has to leave for the other city. Jeng had arranged everything for her, a VIP van with full facilities, a bodyguard, even a private chef. But Chenjia says, "I told you I don't want to be your help. I want to live like a normal crew member and experience life the way everyone else does. So please don't give me so many facilities. And don't come to meet me either. Otherwise, everyone will behave stiffly around me again." So after hearing this, Jung takes her to the airport and drops her according to her wish. Now Chenjia reaches the shooting location, excited to experience so much in life. The whole crew is nice. But one thing she didn't realize earlier was that the lead actress of this movie is none other than Rushi. Rushi keeps bullying her every chance she gets. In the lift, she picks mistakes in Chenjia's script and orders her to rewrite it again and again. Shashi gets furious, knowing Rushi is doing all this just to trouble her. Jung also finds out how overworked Chenjia is these days, but he can't say anything because this is what she loves doing. During shooting, there is a scene between Shashi and Rushi where they stand face to face. Rushi suddenly slaps Shashi hard, but that slap wasn't even part of the scene. She says it's important for the scene and forces many retakes just to take revenge. By evening, Shashi's cheek turns completely red, but the one suffering the most is Chenjia, because hurting Shashi was basically Rushi's way of hurting her. Next day, Chenjia decides to take a little revenge too. She quietly replaces the fake flower bouquet with real lilies, knowing very well that Rushi is allergic to lilies. The moment Rushi smells them, she screams loudly. Her whole face turns red. After that, Rushi becomes even more furious and finds new excuses to bully Chenjia. She tells her to rewrite a scene, but when Chenjia refuses, Rushi almost raises her hand to hit her. Right then, someone grabs Rushi's wrist. It's President Jang, who is also the producer of the movie. He steps in, settles the issue, and takes Chenjia's side because she was absolutely right. No script changes can be made like this. Then he even tries to explain things to Rushi and says, "It seems you have some personal problem with this girl." Rushi snaps, "She is Mrs. Liu. You should also have a problem with her. Jung is your competitor." After hearing this, Kang starts looking at Chenjia differently. Earlier, he never even gave her attention, but now he becomes cold and distant. Later that evening, when the shoot ends, Jang gets injured. To stop the bleeding, Chenjia quickly removes her hair tie and wraps it around his wound. This moment deeply touches his heart. Then we see a flashback. When he was in university, he once met a girl wearing a mask. He had gotten injured and that girl tied her hairband on his wound the same way. He now realizes that the girl from his past, his first love, was actually Chenjia. He had been searching for her for years, and now he finally found her. But he becomes sad remembering she is married. She is Jung's wife. Next day, Rushi casually tells him, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. Yes, she's Jung's wife, but it's just a contract marriage. Not a real one." Meanwhile, the team is now shooting in the forest. The food provided there is terrible. Everyone is upset. But suddenly, a mascot costume delivery man arrives with delicious food, specially for Chenjia. The crew also eats and enjoys it a lot, but the man doesn't show his face. Chenjia realizes someone sent him, and it could only be Jung. She calls Jung to thank him for the delivery, but she has no idea that Jung himself, wearing that hot mascot suit, came there because he wanted to see her. Sometimes that teddy mascot starts appearing on set often. Whenever Chenjia needs help, he suddenly arrives to assist her. She keeps thinking Jung sent him, not knowing it was always Jung himself. And one day, noticed his style of waiting and realized that it could only be Jung himself. One day, she removed the mask and even kissed him. Chenjia and Jung went out for a meal together, which made Shashi jealous because Chenjia had Jung's affection in front of her. While they were out, Jang saw them, surprising Jung, as he didn't know Jang was Chenjia's producer. Meanwhile, Rushi noticed Jang's interest in Chenjia and tried to use it to her advantage, proposing that they team up against Jung. Jang told her to focus on her own work. The next day, Jung came to meet Chenjia during a short visit to the city, but he told her he had a lot of business work and had to leave. He reminded her to take care of herself. After that, Jang called Chenjia for a meeting about some scene changes to make the movie economical. He requested her help. Chenjia made the changes and came for the scene rehearsal. Rushi tried to manipulate the scene, asking Chenjia to act it out for her to understand the character. Rushi even recorded the rehearsal secretly. Chenjia received a call from Jung during the rehearsal with romantic dialogue lines. Hearing it, Jung was furious with jealousy. Rushi cut the call, and later Jung called again, asking what Chenjia was doing. She explained the scene rehearsal. He told her she shouldn't act like that with Jang and to stop and return. Chenjia refused, saying she has her own life and will make her own decisions. In the evening, Yang came to return the hairband, but Chenjia refused. He tried to tie it on her hair, and at that moment, Jung arrived. He slapped Yang, and a fight broke out between Jung and Jang because Jung was trying to take Chenjia away by force, saying she won't do that work anymore. Chenjia felt insulted and told Jung he didn't trust her at all. She reminded him their contract marriage would end in time and asked him to leave. She also told him he hadn't changed since school. After this fight, Chenjia became very upset. She missed Jung a lot, eat less, and rarely went out. Jung's condition was similar. He stayed at the office all day, avoiding home. The butler would bring food, but he didn't care. Meanwhile, Rushi hatched a new plan. She recruited Jang's assistant and said that since Mr. Jang loves Chenjia, their goal should be to bring Chenjia and Jang together. After that, Jung remembered something Chenjia had said about school, how he had always been the same back then. One day in school, an announcement was made, and a boy standing in the radio room said to Jung that, why does he hang out with her all day? He says that no one wants to be friends with a fat girl. The mic is turned off before he can speak further, and that's what makes she angry. That memory still hurt her deeply, as it was just like school all over again. Meanwhile, Jang came to see Chenjia. He told her he had noticed that she had been keeping herself closed off lately. He brought her food, including a very nice soup, sat with her, talked for a while, and comforted her before leaving. Shashi also tried to cheer Chenjia up, telling her that fights happen wherever there is love. She suggested that Chenjia call Jung and try to reconcile. Jang was feeling the same way, but Chenjia didn't have the courage to call him. Jang then told his assistant to book something for him the next day, and when asked where he was going, he said he was going to see his wife. The next day, Chenjia went to a site visit to prepare for shooting some scenes. Jang's assistant took her to the location, a tall building, and locked the door. Chenjia asked him to unlock it, but he said it locked automatically and he didn't have the keys. Suddenly, the weather turned bad. This had been arranged by Rushi to create a romantic scene where Jang would rescue Chenjia. Jang had arrived in the city as well. He tried calling Chenjia repeatedly, but the signal was poor. Finally, she managed to send him a message saying she was locked in a building. Jung immediately rushed to her. Rushi tried to block him, confessing that she loved him and couldn't live without him, but Jung was only worried about Chenjia. He pushed Rushi aside and ran to save Chenjia. Yang was also coming to help, but it started raining. Despite his fear of darkness, Jung pushed through and found Chenjia. They hugged in the rain. Chenjia apologized for being upset earlier, and Jung also apologized for getting angry. They promised not to fight like that again and kissed. Jung then took Chenjia to their school playground. He told her he had come there because he once promised to meet her at that place. Chenjia had waited for him that day, but he hadn't come, and she tore up his photo in frustration. Now he was finally there. He told her that even when she was fat, he had loved her, but never expressed it because of his age. He also explained the radio incident from school, clarifying that he had only said he didn't want to be friends with the fat girl because he liked her and wanted to remain her friend forever. They kissed again, happy together. Jung then took Chenjia home. He had prepared a romantic bedroom, reminding her of her promise about compensation. Now, they would share the same room. Chenjia felt shy and went to the bathroom for a moment, then returned. When Jung approached her, she blushed and asked if he could turn off the lights. But when he did, his fear of darkness returned, and he panicked, leaving the room. Chenjia, worried, decided she would help him control his phobia. She also learned something new. His birthday was on 12th July, the same day his father had died. He had never celebrated it. Chenjia called him and asked him to tell her the truth about his life. Jang revealed that on 12th July, while she was waiting for him, he had been kidnapped by an enemy of his father. His father had a heart attack that day, and Jung had almost died in captivity, which caused his fear of darkness. Chenjia told him that he had to control this disorder, especially since they would be sleeping in the same room. Jung smiled, agreeing. Chenjia then began helping him practice overcoming his phobia. She blindfolded him, played different types of games with him, and gave him rewards. At first, he struggled, but gradually he began to enjoy it, and his phobia started to get under control. After many days of practice, finally, it was the day of Jung's exam. Chenjia took him to a parking lot and she turned off all the lights. She told him he had to find her there. Cheng was very scared, feeling like he was reliving the kidnapping incident from his past. But slowly, he controlled his fear, moved forward, and finally found Chenjia. He had now overcome his psychological issue with Chenjia's help. Chenjia had another plan. Her birthday was coming, and this time she wanted him to enjoy the day and not be sad. She decided that she herself would be his gift. When Jung returned from a meeting, he saw a large box in his room. Confused, he asked to remove it, saying he hadn't ordered any gift. Later, when he got home, Ming and Shashi were waiting to celebrate his birthday. He asked about Chenjia, and they told him that she had gone to his office inside the box as his gift. Jung panicked and searched for the box. It had been misplaced, but Chenjia called him. She was perfectly fine, and he hugged her tightly, then took her home. He cleaned her up and told her, "Please, never put yourself in danger again." Chenjia told him that she wanted him to have happy birthday memories too. That day, they cut the cake together and spent quality time. The next morning, when Chenjia woke up, Jung teased her, asking if she was still trying to annoy him. Both were very much in love and extremely happy. In the office, President Du met Sean, who told him she wouldn't work with him anymore because Chenjia was getting too much attention. She joined another company. Meanwhile, Jung's novel had reached its final episode and was a huge hit. It became the best viewed novel on the website, and everyone celebrated Chenjia's success. Her boss even gave her an award, making her feel she had truly achieved something on her own. Because of its success, they decided to publish the novel in book form. On the other side, President Ba's company now had Sean, and she decided that she would also publish her own novel on the same day as Chen Jia's, creating a clash. Zheng, supporting Chen Jia, told her, "I trust you. You will definitely win." Together, they designed the cover page of the novel, inspired by their love. Finally, the day came to accept pre-orders for Chen Jia's novel. At first, the sales fluctuated, but soon Chen Jia's novel surged ahead, while Sean's lagged. Everyone congratulated Chen Jia, including her dad, who promoted the novel on his lingerie brand. However, Rashi couldn't accept Chen Jia's success. She wanted to bring Chen Jia down. Rushi had a video of Chen Jia rehearsing a romantic scene with Zhang. She sent it to Sean to use against Chen Jia, damaging her publicity. As a result, Chen Jia's pre-orders began to cancel, and her sales graph started to drop. Zhang noticed this, and so did Zheng. Chen Jia's first concern was for Zhang. She didn't want anyone thinking badly of her. When she reached him, he said, "I trust you completely. I will always stand by you." Chen Jia was very happy to hear this. They returned to find Yang waiting. Zhang proposed, "Let's hold a press conference together and clear all misunderstandings." The next day, they went and explained to the media that the video was misrepresented and everything had been shown in the wrong way. Zheng also said, "I completely trust my wife." The reporters started asking tricky questions. They asked, "Zheng and Zhang are competitors, so why is Mrs. Zheng working for her husband's competitor's company?" To control the situation, Chen Jia held both Zheng and Zhang's hands and said, "They are not competitors. They are very good friends. The world may think otherwise, but they often meet alone, eat together at get-togethers." Seeing this, everyone was happy. On the other hand, Zhang went to Rushi and scolded her. But Rushi said, "This video could have been used for your advantage too, to create misunderstandings between Zheng and Chen Jia." Zhang told her, "You can never use someone like this again. This is your last chance. One more mistake and I will cancel your contract." Zheng wanted to promote Chen Jia's novel more, so he did a live stream. People liked it a lot, and many watched. He showed how the novel was written as a love divine story with inspiration from their love. Many people became interested, and her publicity increased. Finally, the day came when Chen Jia's first book was published. It was available in all major bookstores, and she was extremely happy. They celebrated together. Meanwhile, at home, Ming came to Shashi's place. He cheerfully opened the door, but he saw angry men, 2 bodyguards, and a strict-looking uncle were there. Ming got scared, thinking Shashi had borrowed a huge loan. Even Shashi tried to explain that she could not live here, but he was her father, who looks like Don. Seeing him so angry, Ming tried to run. Her dad said, "This boy is not reliable. I dreamed that you chose a rogue as your boyfriend." Shashi said, "I love him, and I can prove he deserves me." Her dad gave Ming many tests. First, he offered him a drink, but Ming said he would always love Shashi. Then, her dad sent a girl to distract him and speak against Shashi, but Ming removed her. Later, her dad even brought a fake childhood fiancé, pretending Shashi's marriage was already fixed. Ming still stood firm, protecting Shashi, despite threats. Seeing this, her dad realized Ming was truly loyal and approved him as his son-in-law. Ming and Shashi were overjoyed. Meanwhile, Zheng hired Shashi as an ambassador for his company. Her recent movie release had increased her popularity, and she was loved in a supporting actor role. On the other hand, Sean returned and asked President Du to let her work in the company again. Du refused, but Chen Jia supported Sean, saying she had worked hard for years. Sean's respect for Chen Jia grew. Meanwhile, Zheng thought that life was going well, and he wanted to give Chen Jia a grand wedding. That night, he planned to discuss it with her. But Chen Jia was too busy because her novel was being turned into a movie. She was giving interviews and meeting many people, but she couldn't find anyone capable of handling her project professionally. She didn't want unprofessional people to ruin it. Zheng had to wait for the right time to talk to her. Meanwhile, during an interview about the upcoming movie, Zhang was present. Chen Jia's contribution and her novel were discussed. Zhang said, "It would be an honor if I could produce Chen Jia's movie." Chen Jia had been disappointed as she hadn't found a good director or producer. But after seeing Zhang's seriousness and how well he understood her novel, she decided to work with him on this project. She informed Zheng, who said, "You should have consulted me first." Chen Jia replied, "It's my life. Why should I consult you? I don't discuss my field with you, and you don't discuss with me." This led to a small argument between them, which slowly escalated. Jing eventually told her clearly, "You leave it, and I'm ready to invest in your company." But Chen Jia replied, "I am professional, and I could not want to work with you as a business partner. Why are you being possessive?" Zheng, feeling jealous, went straight to Zhang and said, "If you are investing in this project, I want to become an investor too. I will invest 50-50. He convinced Zhang privately, but later called Chenjia to meet him. It was Chenjia's birthday, which she had forgotten. Jung told her to cut a cake, and this gesture made them reconcile. He also prepared 10 special gifts for her, saying, "After high school, we are meeting after 10 years. I've prepared a gift for every birthday you had during this time." Chenjia was very touched and happy because of his care. Jung also convinced her to let him invest in her movie, saying he only wanted to spend time with her. Chenjia agreed but clarified that all decisions would be hers, and he must cooperate without creating any issues. However, when work on the project started, Jung began creating problems. Sometimes he argued that the movie's title shouldn't be the same as the novel, or he clashed with Jung over other minor issues. Every meeting ended with tension. Chenjia became frustrated, questioning why she had let him invest. Rushi came to her and suggested, "You can consider me for this project." Jung interrupted, saying, "You'll never be the lead actress because it's Chenjia's movie." Rushi insisted she wanted the villain role, which suited her perfectly, as she naturally fit that character. Jang discussed this with both, but Jung didn't like it. Chenjia, however, stayed professional and decided to include Rushi because of her acting skills and publicity value. Chenjia had become extremely professional, which sometimes upset Jung. He said, "I wanted Shashi to be the lead," but Chenjia replied, "Shashi is my friend, but her acting isn't at Rushi's level. Rashi may be my enemy, but she can't compete with Shashi. I'll find a third girl for the lead role." Shashi overheard this and felt hurt, thinking her best friend didn't trust her. She walked away, feeling sad. The next day, Chenjia discovered that Ming was trying to find sponsorships for her movie. She got very angry, yelling, "You're going to ruin my movie?" Ming argued, "You're not in your mind these days. You don't understand who is a friend or not. We are working hard for you. You hurt both Shashi and me. I quit sponsoring this project." Chenjia felt very sad. Then Jang appeared and told her, "Sometimes when you handle your first project, you have to face such difficulties." He even gave her life examples to explain. Meanwhile, Jung was waiting at home. He called Chenjia, but she didn't pick up. When she came home, Jung saw that Yang had dropped her off and then he yelled at her. He says, "You promised to have dinner with me." He had prepared a beautiful dinner for her, but he was upset and went upstairs. Jung always attended her meetings, but he wasn't a writer or director, so he stayed on the sidelines while Chenjia and Jung worked together on the project. Seeing them agree on concepts made Jung very jealous. Rushi noticed this and decided to take advantage of it. One day, at the cruise hotel, they were discussing lines and Chenjia got sleepy. They let her rest, while Jung waited at home. Her phone battery died. The next morning, Chenjia left quickly. While leaving Jang's room, a crew member saw her. Employees started gossiping that Chenjia and Jang might have spent the night together. Jang was listening to all this. He trusted Chenjia, but he couldn't tolerate these rumors. When she returned home, he asked, "Where were you last night?" She replied, "Do you not trust me?" He said, "I do, but people are saying things about you. Do you want to get involved in a scandal again? Last time I warned you, decide once. Either leave the project or leave Jang." Chenjia replied, "You cannot dictate to me." Jing said, "Fine, then I quit this project." He removed all his investment, and Chenjia moved from his house to the crew hotel. Rushi, seeing this, was very happy and went to Jang, saying, "You have a great opportunity now. They are apart, and I'll advise you as a friend. Make Jung lose trust in Chenjia." Rushi went to Jung and said, "Jang removed me from that project and even ended my contract. He only talks about Chenjia and she's always around him." Using this, Rushi managed to regain her ambassador role in Jung's company. Meanwhile, Jang went to Chenjia and told her how important she had been in his life. He said, "A masked girl once saved me from losing a contract. I didn't know her then, but now I realize it was you." He gave her the old hairband he had kept tied to her injury, saying, "I love you." Chenjia rejected him and walked away. Chenjia's father came to console her. He said, "Sometimes in life, if our friends and family aren't with us, success becomes meaningless." He encouraged her to make peace with everyone and even offered to reinvest the money Jung had taken out of her company. Chenjia then went to Shashi and Ming to reconcile, but they wouldn't open the door. She forced her way in using duplicate keys. She explained to Shashi, "There's a character in my novel meant to be the heroine's friend, and I had you in mind. That's why you weren't the lead. I wanted to see you in a supporting role because I trusted your skills, just like you trusted me when I had nothing." Their misunderstanding cleared, and Shashi rejoined her project. Chenjia wanted to talk to Jung next, but she saw him with Rushi. Rushi was doing a diamond ring endorsement, and Jung was standing with her. Chenjia felt sad and didn't have the courage to approach him. Jang, however, intentionally kept some distance from Rushi, showing Chenjia that if she could have a partner she didn't like, he could also have someone in his company, but he was doing it to make a point. Later, they discovered that some senior crew members were leaving the project because Jung was threatening them. Shashi got angry, but Chenjia said, "I don't think Jung is capable of this. Something else is going on." Then, Chenjia realized that her most loyal fan club member, Ottoman, was secretly Jung. He had always been supporting her in secret. Everything Jung did, what looked like misbehavior, was actually Jang manipulating things to make Chenjia doubt Jung. Chenjia tried to meet Jung, but guards kept stopping her. Even Chauhan said he couldn't sneak her in because the guards were posted on personal orders. Jung missed Chenjia very much. One day, he got a notification from his fan club. Chenjia's movie shoot was starting, and the opening event invited many special members, including one. After that, she was waiting for his arrival. That member was standing there, waiting for her. Ming noticed that Jung had come wearing a mask. At the event, Chenjia announced, "Ottoman, my fan who always supported me, is here." Jung tried to hide but got caught. Chenjia told him to remove his mask, revealing to everyone that it was Jung. In front of everyone, Chenjia apologized and said, "I love you so much that even if I succeed, it's meaningless without you. I know you're working with Rushi to make me jealous, but I completely trust you. I love you and always will. I was wrong. I cannot live without your feelings." Then, they kissed, reconciling completely. Jang, who had arrived at the event, watched them witnessing their happy reunion. He came here to propose to her. After that, he finished his character's story in the project. Chenjia scolded him, saying, "You shouldn't have plotted against Jung like this." He admitted, "I was blind in love. I just wanted you." Then he said, "I'm sorry. I'll leave your life and never disturb you again," and walked away. Meanwhile, Rushi was standing there, upset, but Chauhan burst out and said, "In your eyes, only Jung mattered even when he didn't love you. When you weren't a lead actress and were struggling, who supported you? Who got your contract with company? That was me. I always liked you no matter what." This made Rushi realize the truth, and he hugs her. In the next scene, Chenjia's parents and family were very happy because Jung and Chenjia were finally together. They decided to arrange the biggest wedding in the city, scheduled 3 months later since Chenjia's novel shoot was about to start. 3 months passed, and Jung was excited because Chenjia was returning soon. He told her, "I've arranged everything for our wedding. You just need to pick some things." He chose a ring to surprise her, but on the way, he had a car accident. He got a head injury and lost his memory of the last few months. After that, when he returns home and she tried to get close to him, he reacted as if their marriage was just a contract, with no physical or emotional connection. Chenjia thought he might be pretending and repeatedly tried to test him. She flirted with him, but each time, Jung held up a red flag and reminded her, "This is only a contract marriage. Who do you think you are?" Even her friends said, "It's tough, but this is your chance to relive your love story." She went to a doctor, who confirmed Jung might have amnesia from the head injury. Her mother told her, "Don't worry, you'll remind him of everything, and he'll fall in love with you all over again." Chenjia, very disheartened, took lunch to Jung one day, but he didn't respond. She told her assistant, "I'm making a special dinner tonight. Remind him I'll be waiting," and patiently waited. That evening, someone arrived, but it wasn't Jung. It was the assistant saying, "I reminded him a lot, but you're not important to him. He's gone to meet the company's new model, Yun Yun." Chenjia went looking for him but found a surprise setup. 2 actors performed scenes that mirrored her life with Jung, all the ups and downs, how they stood by each other, and their lovely moments together. At the end, Jung appeared saying, "I want to give you a grand wedding, but I have to propose first." Chenjia realized he had been pretending all along to set up this surprise. He got down on one knee, proposed, and of course, she said yes. Family, friends, and everyone around were overjoyed. In the next scene, Rushi left for the USA, and Chauhan also quit his job to go with her. He said, "Wherever you go, I'm ready to support you." Meanwhile, Chenjia and Jung's parents were preparing not just for their wedding, but also for their future grandchildren, with plans made in detail. Finally, Jung and Chenjia read a real marriage contract, and at the end, they said together, "Every contract has a validity. Ours is valid for a lifetime." And with that, the story had its happy ending.